My coworkers made fun of my southern accent for months. They stopped laughing when I used it to close a $50 million deal. I spent 6 months being called Daisy Duke behind my back at Armstrong Capital before I turned my accent into my greatest asset. Last week, those same Harvard grads who mocked me were silent as I signed the largest client acquisition in company history. When I moved from rural Tennessee to New York City for my dream finance job, I didn't expect my voice would be my biggest obstacle. I have what my mama calls a honey-dripped drawl turn vowels that stretch like taffy and consonants that soften around the edges. My first week, I presented my market analysis to our team. Halfway through explaining my investment strategy, I noticed smirks spreading across faces. Later, I overheard Bradley from Yale telling someone I sounded like I should be selling sweet tea, not securities. The mockery became a daily ritual. They'd imitate me in the break room, ask me to repeat words just to laugh at my pronunciation. One colleague even suggested speech therapy to fix my accent if I wanted to be taken seriously. I considered it. For 3 days, I practiced speaking differently, trying to flatten my vowels and sharpen my consonants, but erasing a part of myself just to make others comfortable felt wrong. Instead, I doubled down on performance. I arrived earlier, stayed later, and produced analysis reports so thorough they couldn't be ignored. My portfolio recommendations consistently outperformed my peers, yet I was still passed over for client meetings because clients expected a certain polish. Then Armstrong started pursuing Magnolia Energy, a southern-based renewable energy company. Their founder, Gerald Hammond, was a self-made billionaire from Mississippi with a drawl twice as thick as mine and a notorious distrust of slick city types. After 2 teams failed to make headway with Hammond, our director called an emergency meeting about Hammond's final visit. When I volunteered to lead the presentation, Bradley laughed out loud. My manager reluctantly agreed to let me join the team Perrin, though Bradley would still lead that night. I completely rewrote our proposal, focusing on Hammond's specific concerns and long-term vision rather than just quarterly projections. When Hammond walked into our conference room, his eyes immediately lit up at my introduction. Throughout the meeting, I noticed him, nodding whenever I spoke, while his attention drifted during Bradley's portions. When Bradley rushed through the risk assessment, I jumped in with a more straightforward explanation about sticking with Hammond through difficult times. Hammond addressed all his questions to me. After 2 hours, he stood up and said I was the first person in New York who talked to him like a human being instead of a walking textbook. Just like that, we had landed Magnolia Energy part a $50 million account with potential to triple within 5 years. The office atmosphere changed overnight. Suddenly, my accent wasn't a punchline. It was a unique client relations approach. My manager called it authentic regional communication skills in my performance review. Last month, I was promoted to Senior Investment Emergist with my own team. My first act was implementing a firm-wide cultural sensitivity training program. Some people tried to change themselves to fit into a box. Others realized that what makes them different is what makes them irreplaceable. I am just glad I chose the second option before I lost my voice completely.